Dreams are a funny thing. And the reason I'm thinking about this right now is that after all the excitement yesterday of us out being at Pride in the heat, I ended up napping for a very long time this afternoon. I've been having a nice lazy Sunday. JT and I did our morning podcast, and I did a few little chores around the house. But aside from that, I really haven't done much of anything. And I'm feeling much better than I was this morning. But while I was napping, I had some of the most vivid and bizarre dreams. I don't remember the details now. All I remember is that they were very strange. And that got me thinking about dreams again, which is something I've probably discussed before, but I'm thinking that the reason that JT and I did 3 events in one week is because we are trying to follow our dreams. And that got me thinking that it's not just our nighttime dreams or nap time dreams that can be strange and confusing, but our real life dreams can also be a little bit strange. And we sometimes take a moment to stop and think, why are we doing this to ourselves? Now, I will say that so far for the month of June, we're 2 weeks in and we've already sold over 30 books. So for us, that's huge. I know some authors probably do that in a day or maybe even less time. But for us, that is the biggest month we've had since we started our little publishing company. And that's exciting. But it comes at a price because, like I said, both JT and I are just absolutely wasted today. We spent all that time out in the heat yesterday. We were out in actually a warm room on Friday, and we were outdoors a week ago Saturday as well. And neither of us has ever been very good with heat. So sitting out in the sun for hours on end, even in a shady spot but on asphalt, doesn't really do good things for us physically. Plus, there was all of the loud music all day, which we really enjoyed, but that can be taxing since both of us are introverts. So, why are we doing this to ourselves? We could be sitting at home. Oh, I don't know. JT can pick up some hobby. I'm not sure what. His hobby, actually, his eating, breathing, and sleeping right now is basically books and writing because he just loves writing, which is awesome. And I love writing too, but I have a lot of other interests as well. So if I weren't writing, I would find something else to keep me amused. And I would be, oh, I don't know, I would feel the lack of writing, but probably not as much as he would. So one of the reasons we're doing this is because we love writing anyway. So why not? But the other reason is that we still have that dream in the back of our mind of getting what the Muppet movie called the standard rich and famous contract. Now, at our age, we understand there are a lot of downsides to both wealth and fame. And we have both come to the conclusion that we really wouldn't want the standard rich and famous contract anymore. We'd like to sell enough books to help fund some of the things that we want to do around the house and do a little traveling. We don't want to be ultra wealthy because that comes with its own set of issues. And fame, it is fun to have people recognize us because we're starting to become more well known in our community. But really, the idea of global fame at the level of somebody like, say, Taylor Swift, I don't know how that woman can function, honestly. And I know her dream was to be a musician, and she started very young and she worked very hard. And that's how she's gotten to where she is right now. So we do understand that in order to achieve a dream like that, I don't know that Taylor Swift's dream was to become a ultra well-known, ultra wealthy woman. That's what the result was. But she did that by following her dream and working really hard at her music. And she's very talented. So she knew at a very young age, I think she started when she was an early teen or something along those lines. And she just kept pushing for her dreams. Now, JT and I have had the standard rich and famous dream for probably our entire marriage, which I think was about the time the Muppet movie came out. And it was something we have worked really hard to get where we are currently in our life, because anybody who has been in a lower socioeconomic category knows how hard it can be to get yourself out of debt and to at least feel not wealthy but comfortable. And we have worked hard to achieve the dream of getting to where we are, to where we have this house and we have two vehicles that we've paid off. We're not leasing anymore. And we have paid off a majority of our debts. And we still worry. We have a little bit in savings. And, one bad health problem can really wipe that out pretty quickly. So we're not comfortable with the amount of money we have, because if our savings were wiped out, it would be hard for us to make our mortgage payments. We'd still have our vehicles, but we understand very well that all of the dreams that we've worked so hard to achieve could disappear in the blink of an eye. So our hope is that by continuing to pursue this ridiculous writing dream, we may earn a little bit of extra income, since our pensions are, we're basically on a static income, a fixed income, you might say. And there's also the fact that we never know what might happen with our pension fund, because my poor uncle, he worked for a city for a long period of time and retired just when that city went bankrupt. And he lost his pension completely. So he had to start all over again in a new job instead of enjoying his retirement like he'd hoped. So dreams, I mean, at least dreams of monetary security, I guess, are something that probably all of us share. I don't know that everybody wants a mega mansion or incredible fame or to be able to jet around the world. I think the dreams that most of us have are much simpler than that. We want to be healthy. We want to be happy. We want to be able to live a comfortable life in maybe our own home and travel here and there. I mean, they are simple dreams, but they're still dreams nonetheless. So JT and I are realistic. We've been through hard times throughout our marriage financially, and we are not feeling that we are on a incredibly secure platform when it comes to our finances, because that's just the way it is. We all know that things are getting more expensive. So we are focusing on our writing. We're continuing to pursue that dream, even though it's very draining. And we are enjoying ourselves, because even though we were both pretty exhausted when we got home last night, and both of us napped today, that's not going to stop us from doing future events. So we will continue pursuing our strange dream of at least becoming comfortable writers who maybe a few people know and will sometimes go out of their way to purchase one of our books. I mean, honestly, if we didn't have to worry about our finances, we'd probably just go ahead and give them away, because we do want to share our stories with the world. And really, that's one of the reasons we keep writing, is because we like to make that connection with other people. Nothing is more fun than chatting with someone who has very similar interests and seeing the mutual excitement as those chats take off. And some of that is happening as we're doing these events. We are running across people who share a lot of the similar interests. They share a love of the written word, and they really can't help themselves from being excited. Their excitement overflows. And many of them have also expressed the idea that they dream of being a writer someday. There is famously the thought that everybody thinks they have a novel in them. The we all kind of dream of having the next bestseller. And that's a wonderful dream. And I don't think anybody should give up on that if that's what they really want to do. What it comes down to is that achieving that dream is not as easy as you would think. So there is a lot of hard work and sweat and exhaustion and days when you're second guessing what you're trying to do, which is not the case in your sleeping dreams, because I did have a dream a while back where one of our books, From Tundra to Tiara, the romance that JT and I co-wrote, where that had been turned into a movie. And we were able to actually go watch it on the big screen and see, in the credits, adapted from a book by Cassidy Carson and JT Hume. And I still can very clearly remember the image of that in my dream, that the color scheme of the movie matched the color scheme of the cover of our book. And it wasn't a Hallmark movie per se, like a television movie. It was a big screen adaptation. And that's still a wonderful dream, even though I doubt anything like that will ever happen. There is someone who I follow on TikTok who's having one of her books. I think it may be a Hallmark movie they're making of her book. And I'm very excited for her. And it's kind of fun to be able to chat with her and to tell her how excited I am for her. So I do feel a lot of excitement when other people achieve their dreams. And I think there's room for all of us. So I don't feel jealous at all when someone achieves a dream that I wish was my dream or was the fulfillment of my dream. But, it would be nice if a little bit of that came my way every once in a while. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you may understand that feeling very well, that there's something that you've wanted to do forever. And maybe you finally start trying to make progress toward achieving that dream. And it can be very hard in the beginning because it takes a lot of time. Yes, there are so-called overnight successes. A majority of them are not. You just think they are because you didn't see all the work they put in. But there are a few who were in the right place at the right time, found the right person to help them, and they do achieve overnight success. And I think in a lot of cases that may end up backfiring on them because overnight success is something that you're not prepared for. So I don't know that JT and I would be prepared if we achieve our own level of overnight success. But at least we have been in the trenches. And, as you're working your way up, I think you start becoming used to making the little steps along the way to that success. So a year and a half ago, when we first started our company, we were very nervous about doing book events. I remember JT going to his first one, and we were just absolutely terrified. But now when we go to events, it's just kind of like, okay, what do we have to do? What do we have? We're going to sit down. We're going to set it up this way. We'll have this much time. This is how we're going to talk to people. And we've been through it enough that it is something that's become more like a regular daily task than some kind of random dream that came out of nowhere. And I think that's part of I don't know if you'd call it the upside maybe of achieving your dreams slowly. The fact that you actually do have time to acclimate as you're achieving your success. Like I said, we've already sold over 30 books this month. And there was a time when I would have been like falling over from excitement from that. And believe me, I am still excited. Having back-to-back really good book sales in the double digits was a major step forward for us. It doesn't mean it's going to continue to happen, and we understand that very well. And that's the other thing. With the slow achievement of your dreams, you also have the realistic expectations that come along with them. We did talk about realistic expectations in our podcast this morning because we took every single book we have available, like physical paperback book, with us yesterday. And we only sold 4 books. So we overestimated by quite a bit how many books we should have with us. But the issue is that we had 2 really good back-to-back selling days. So we didn't know how it was going to go yesterday. And, things happen. It doesn't mean that we are not still achieving our success, because 4 books is a lot more than we've sold at some places. We did a Barnes and Noble signing where we sold 1 book as we were about to pack up for the day, and that was incredibly disappointing. So, I mean, a lot of people dream of having a book signing at Barnes and Noble, and we've had 2 now. We're not planning to do it again anytime soon because we don't have a lot of success there. But the option is still open. We've had it happen before, and we know that we could do it again. Our books have not yet reached the level of success to have them be stocked in Barnes and Noble or really any retailer aside from our smaller local bookstores. But we may get there someday. And we were excited on Friday when we went to the Bub's Bookstore grand opening to see that they had already ordered a few copies of our books and had them on the shelf. The owner, Rob, one of the owners, the couple's names are Rob and Demi. They obviously did quite a large order because they had to stock their entire bookstore. And I guess when he was looking at Ingram, he may have been looking at local author names. And since we distribute our books through Draft to Digital, they are available through Ingram. So he was able to make those orders. And we know he did that because we had such a problem uploading the covers to those sites that they actually have a black back cover instead of the full wrap that we have for the rest of our books. So they're not our favorite thing, but they're out there in the world and they're available to retailers anywhere. So we are making steps toward achieving our dreams, and they aren't the wild successes that we had hoped for, but we're getting there. A year and a half into our company, we have started to make real inroads into learning how to sell our books, even though honestly, I think we would be more comfortable just giving them away because it's so hard to try to sell something, especially when we understand just how financially difficult the times are for everyone. We don't want to strain anybody's budget. And honestly, we would make our books less expensive if it were possible, but all of the places where we purchase our books, the prices are going up due to prices going everywhere going up. And then there are transportation costs, and we all know what goes into raising prices. But honestly, I think we would be much happier if we could just hand out our books and say, hey, have a good time. I hope you enjoy it. And, we wouldn't have to worry about all these things. But if that were the perfect world that we were living in, we probably wouldn't have to worry so much about making ends meet in the first place. Now, I'm not saying I want to be wealthy enough to just give my books away. I want the world to be a place where everybody can enjoy what they're doing, share their enjoyment with the world, and not have to worry about monetizing everything, because it's very hard to have to monetize your dreams. So, as you can tell, I've had a lot of thoughts about dreams today. Now my mind is waking up again from the last few days, and hopefully tomorrow will be better and I'll get more things done. I'll get a little bit back on track, because I will be promoting Haunt Season, Restless Spirits Book 2 over the next, what are we up to? We have 12 days until release. So JT will be helping me upload the files to all of our other distribution platforms like Barnes & Noble and Kobo and Google Play and Draft to Digital. And we do have events coming up, so I'm hoping to order my author copies. So I have those for the upcoming events. Our next one is on July 11th. So I really need to do that book order sooner rather than later. And that's another thing that we have actually had people reaching out to invite us to events. And I know this was because one of our fellow authors recommended us, which we really appreciate. But there was a time, if we hadn't started making connections with our fellow local authors and libraries, and there is a lot of networking involved in promoting something like this. Whether you're a literary artist, a visual artist, a photographer, word of mouth is really important. And the more people get to know you, the better it is for your promoting yourself, because really going out there and spending tons of money on marketing on social media or something really doesn't help matters. You got to start local and build global. That's what JT likes to say. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to do little drips and drabs here wherever we can. So we do have plans to start visiting more of the local bookstores to become better known. We'll definitely be hanging out, excuse me, hanging out at Bub's bookstore as much as possible because it's such a cute place. And I do have plans to do a video there very soon because I want to help promote them. We really need to keep them here in Carson City because it's going to be a wonderful place for people to hang out. But we do need to also visit some of the other local bookstores because there are so many cute, fun little bookstores opening up in our area, not in our specific community, but in the nearby communities. So we want to help promote them, but we're also hoping that by becoming more familiar to them, maybe they will decide to take a chance on us and help spread the word about what we're trying to do. It's all a matter of supporting each other. So if you are struggling to achieve a long-time dream or a dream that you've just come up with, definitely reach out to people. And when you reach out, don't just ask for them to help you. Be sure you help them in return because that feels wonderful too. I love seeing other people achieve their dreams. And if you have a dream and you are making strides toward reaching the success that you hope to achieve toward your dreams, please go ahead and share that because I will be more than happy to celebrate your excitement. And I know just how good it feels when you reach those milestones toward your ultimate goal. And, the more we help each other, the better. So definitely hold on to your dreams, whether they are your waking dreams or, if you're having a really good sleeping dream where you're on vacation or something, or you've just met the person of your dreams, or you have become a mega superstar or something like that, enjoy those dreams too, because they can actually give you a wonderful euphoric feeling to help get you through some of the rough days. Like I said, I keep thinking about that big screen version of the book that JT and I co-wrote. And, sometimes when I'm having a rough day, I think, but if I give up, I'll never get there. And I may still never get there, but I'm not going to stop trying. And I hope you don't either. So I thank you for joining me again. I hope you're having a wonderful day and that you've enjoyed a weekend of fun things. And I will talk to you again tomorrow. I'm Cassidy Carson, and this is The Life of a Writer. Take care.